The head of Georgia's Prosecuting Attorneys Council accused of not doing his job when it comes to one of the state's most powerful politicians.
A group of attorneys has sued the council's executive director, Pete Skandalakis. They say it's taking too long to appoint a special prosecutor for Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones for his role as a Trump elector in 2020.
Fox 5 I-Team reporter Johnny Edwards spoke to a lawyer who wants to speed things along. Johnny.
That's right. It's a case to watch here because if DA Fani Willis gets disqualified from the racketeering case against Donald Trump, it would be up to Skandalakis to choose a replacement. But in the case she's already been disqualified from, a Fayetteville attorney is demanding that Skandalakis hurry up and pick already.
Hopefully we'll avoid any of those mishaps in the future.
Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, considered a leading contender for the governor's office in 2026.
If you don't take care of home base, then you can forget about everything else.
But hanging over him, his role as unindicted co-conspirator Individual 8, part of a slate of so-called fake electors for Donald Trump in 2020. A lawsuit filed in Clayton County this month seeks to hold Prosecuting Attorneys Council Executive Director Pete Skandalakis accountable for not holding Jones accountable.
It seems to me that one of the possibilities is that Mr. Skandalakis is allowing political considerations to come into play with regards to his desires to appoint a conflict prosecutor. And I think that's inappropriate.
Skandalakis responding, he's still working on it. His answer, filed by the state attorney general's office, saying, the process of identifying a conflict prosecutor to handle the matter in which the district attorney of Fulton County was disqualified is still ongoing. Skandalakis told us he can't talk about ongoing litigation, but he previously told the I-Team he'd be making a decision in a matter of weeks. That was back in August.
That's going to be extremely difficult to find somebody, not only because of the resources that you need to handle a case like this, but the limitations I have in paying somebody.
Not good enough for Fayetteville attorney Wayne Kendall, who on behalf of 4 law colleagues filed what's called a mandamus petition, an attempt to force a public official to perform an obligational duty. Kendall said he's worried about the statute of limitations running out on Jones in December.
He would be exonerated simply by the passage of time.
The same special purpose grand jury that recommended indicting former President Trump also voted that Jones face felony charges as a main organizer of a meeting of alternate electors on December 14th, 2020. But Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis couldn't prosecute him. In July 2022, a judge disqualified her from targeting Jones because of a conflict of interest involving a fundraiser she hosted for a political opponent.
It's a what are you thinking moment. The optics are horrific.
Yeah, we won our court case with Fulton County.
Fani Willis's disqualification made Skandalakis responsible for finding somebody else to prosecute Lieutenant Governor Jones. But for more than 18 months, nothing.
One particular DA has volunteered to take on the case with no strings attached, and he has failed to appoint this particular DA.
And we won't back down from bad law.
But Skandalakis told the New York Times he has reservations about that DA, Jared Williams of the Augusta Circuit, because of his involvement in a lawsuit challenging the state legislature's creation of an oversight commission for DAs, something Burt Jones backed.
I don't see that one has anything to do with the other.
Skandalakis responded in court filings that he stands by his decision on Williams, saying that lawsuit was, quote, one of many factors. He also says a mandamus complaint can't be used to force him to do something discretionary or to hurry up, quote, in the particular manner they demand, and says the statute of limitations on Jones is actually about a year longer because of court delays during the COVID pandemic. Jones declined an interview request for this story, his office saying in a statement, quote, Burt has never been concerned about these partisan efforts to weaponize the legal system. Now, as to why these plaintiffs have taken this fight upon themselves, Kendall told me this is public interest litigation, and I'm welcome to call it activism if I want. He said there's no larger group behind the lawsuit, and they're paying for it themselves. Skandalakis, meanwhile, is asking a judge to dismiss the case.